It's my introduction to the world, to the people that don't know me. This thing that went global. I'm out and about. People recognize who I am. So it's time to give y'all some backstory on this Meals on Wheels thing. All right. So y'all know I was born in Cincinnati, right? So boom. I'm born, but I'm also born in the trenches. Now, in the 90s, think about all the things that was going on in inner cities with the drug epidemic, crack epidemic, all the things that was going on with those circumstances, right? The elements of that around you every day, dysfunction. So my mama did what any parent would do. We move, always moving. Now, in the same sense, I can say my mama will always try to move on like one of those little ducked off streets. Like, you know what I mean? We right next to the action, we right next to in the mix of the net, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the environment is still the environment. So it really ain't no escaping it when you in a small city like that. Like, so even when I was younger, I went to live with my pops. Some people got, you know what I mean, your mama or your pops might move, away from the inner city part, but you still a little short drive away, you know what I mean? You 20, 30 minutes away, ain't nothing crazy. But once you already a certain age and you grow up in the inner city, you already who you is, no matter who you move to. Especially if you a first generation person that's like, oh, your people's from the inner city, but they got their bread up and they moved. But it's like, my whole family is, you know what I mean? We all come from these environments. So it wasn't no thing where when I got older, I'm just gonna just stop being who I am, right? So I was fortunate enough to grow up in a family that's like, man, these is our circumstances, this is our environment, but we gonna make it shake. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna make something shake. We ain't finna just sit around pouting. We ain't finna keep complaining. We gonna get it out the mud. But I always had a mama that worked a job. Like, you know what I mean? When you got a pops that work a job, but dysfunction was still prevalent in our environment on a constant basis. So it's all just rubbing off on you, all just attaching to you. What I realized is when I got older, how it would affect me and how God would use that same environment to put me in a position to be able to speak to a certain demographic of people that relate to where I come from. And then also, by me being in and out of hospitals, dealing with the whole Butcher Pakistan thing, I was meeting people from different walks of life. And that will also give me the insight to move and conduct myself a certain way professionally. Now, so that's the that's the whole thing of like where I was born, right? The circumstances. So boom, time go by. At this age, I done moved around the city. I done lived in everywhere. And one thing I can say about Cincinnati, it wasn't like other cities where one street be beefing with another street just because you was born on that street. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. It ain't no, you was from a certain area and you not able to live in another part of the area. Like, it wasn't like that. You could move and live anywhere in the city. Like, it was always a thing of black unity in the city, so to speak, because of the history of the Underground Railroad. And when a lot of the slaves would come up north, Cincinnati was one of those places that they would come to and be able to live a little life and be able to thrive. So black unity was always a thing. So if something happened, it was personal. So let me get just later, just remember this, keep that in mind. You could live anywhere you wanted to in the city at that time. It ain't streets beefing, it's personal. It's one person beefing against another person, or you know what I mean, you know how they go, baby mama, baby daddy drama. You know what I mean? Somebody pull up and a couple other people pull up, but other than that, it's no areas, it's no entire areas going at it with each other. Like it's the trenches, but it's the things that go on in the trenches just normally. Like you know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, right? So okay, I'm growing up in Cincinnati. My mama moving constantly all over town, all over the city, moving constantly. So by the age of like, I would say 11, around like 11 years old, even before that, around like 10, we moved to Dayton, Ohio. Now, we moved to Dayton, Ohio. We was only up there for a short amount of time. Staying on Otterbein, you know what I mean, right there, Kings Mill. So then we moved back to Cincinnati. Now, we moved back to Cincinnati. This time, I went to stay with my pops. Now, my pops had moved and little ducked off somewhere on the little outskirts side of the city. But, like I said, them only a 20, 30-minute drive because Cincinnati already small as it is. So you ain't really too far. And then my whole family is in the inner city, so I'm going to the inner city even when I was staying with my pops. So I'm learning about real life and real things that goes on. So my pops instilling stuff into me. But, you know, by him being from that environment and our whole family being from that environment, he trying to, like, kind of school me on things, but not trying to, like, teach me too much. Because he know, like, once you who you is, it's really going to already be in you naturally. So if you start telling me too much, it might awake something in me and I might get excited to learn more about it. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he would give me the truth about life, but I was still already growing on my own, having my own like thoughts about like how things work. So my big brothers and them, I'm the youngest boy of all of my generation, of big brothers and all them, like all the boys, all the men in our generation, I'm the youngest. So they would come get me, they would school me, and I would just sit back and just soak everything up because I didn't want to be, I'm still like that now. Like, I pay attention, but I didn't want to really talk too much at times when I was with them. Like, I would be myself, but like we would ride, we would just bust moves. They would bust moves. I'd be, you know what I mean, in the backseat just paying attention because I didn't want to like talk too much and they get annoyed with me and they be like, man, like, bro, you like you doing too much, like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to hang with the big dog, so I'm riding with them, like, so imagine now I'm like going on like 13, between 13 and 15. Like, you know what I mean? We moved to the city, back to the city. I was about 11. Then I stayed with my pops for like a year. And then I moved back with my mama. So now I'm back in the inner city. But at the same time, like, I'm growing and I'm developing all the things that's in me naturally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that just be in you. Like, it ain't on me, it's in me. Like, and the things that I come from, like my pops and them, like they generation, they old school. Like, so, you know, you going around, you kicking it with your pops. He runs all the old school cats. Everybody know him. Like, my family was known. Everybody, like anybody in my family, like, we can go anywhere in the city and pretty much bump into somebody we know. That's how small, like, cities be like that. Like, so I always kept my face quite clean. I always kept it solid with anybody that was around me because I always felt like it's really no point in, like, crossing people that's in your inner circle and stuff like that because it's like, you gonna bump into them somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? And aside from that, that just ain't me, though. I just think, like, I'm the most trustworthy person that people ever even come across. Like, I'll be the best friend that you ever had for real. Like, but let's keep on, let's stay on track. All right, so boom. I'm moving around my big brothers and them. I'm the youngest boy. I'm riding with them. They busting moves and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? We getting out the mud, like, for real, right? So, mind you, I'm really paying attention, but I'm still thinking, like, how I'm about to really, really make it shake in life, though. Like, because I'm like, man, school ain't really, like, I was already popular in school and all that, whatever, but I didn't like the aspect of, like, going in there and sitting there for all them hours and, you know, you be in class, you know, really, you ain't really supposed to talk a lot like that. Like, you know, it's like, just kind of be quiet and just do your work. And like, And I'm full of energy. Like, I'm a vibrant person. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I used to be bored in there. Like, so it turned into me like kind of being like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say class clown or none of that. Like, I wasn't bad. But you know what I mean? We tell jokes, you know what I mean? We chop it up with the, you know what I mean, with the people in class and da. So that's what I used to always get in trouble for. Like, so I'm steady getting suspended from school and stuff like that. Like, but at the same time, I got sense though. You feel me? Like, because the teachers was sending papers home, and they're like, yeah, he ain't bad. He just don't always, pay attention to the work the way he supposed to, and be quiet the way he needs to, and. So I'm like, all right, bet. So around 13, I would say 14, we kind of like, maybe even 15, but around 13, 14, I kind of was like, all right, man, I'm riding with my big brothers and them. I'm riding with like the older family members. I'm like, I'm about to really, really, really make it shake in life though. Like I'm seeing them do what they do and they get money and blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm the youngest boy and they really trying to like keep me from doing that for real. But they still teaching me about it. But they like trying to, you know what I mean? Cause they like, you don't really want to go down this route per se, but like, you is who you is, you know what I mean? At the same time, like we in the environment we in, pretty much. Like, ain't no point in them shielding it from me and just let me go out there like head first blind into the situations. Like, so I kind of just picked up on my own, learning, just paying attention, watching, soaking it up. So around 14, 15, that's when I got kicked out of school. So I was staying with my pops at that time, and I'm in school, boom, boom, boom. And one of the days, it was like when school first started back. So I went to school, and it was like a couple months in after school started. It wasn't even that long though. Like, school had just started back for a couple months in. Me and my homies, we walked to school, and we like, bruh, like, let's go, like, you know what I mean, blaze one before we get there, So we burn one before we get there, boom. All right, so we get to school, mind you, we are already popular, like, our friend group already popular outside of school, like, and from like a year, like a couple years previous, like, we wasn't really in that area for that long, but like, we just was always outside. So we get to school, I'm like the person that came late, because we walked to school that day. This is why this whole thing important, because this is all part of the Meals on Wheels story. Like, these are all pivotal moments. So that time we went to school, I'm late to the school year because I had moved back to my pops from my mama. So I'm going like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I done started the school year late. So I get to school and everybody was so happy. They're like, hey, what up, bro? So the whole hallway just started like making this eruptions noise, like. So then they just like start grabbing people, like people start running, like principal coming, It's like, it was crazy. So end of the day, like, I run down some stairs, the principal catch me, I was new to the school, so I didn't know which way to run. I just knew, don't run the same way bro and them running. Like, that's dumb. Like, so I went my own little route. So anyway, they like, oh, you started a riot in the class, and you started a riot in the hallway, People could have got hurt. People was yelling and running and trampling. And so I'm like, it wasn't that serious, but all right, whatever. So they expelled me. Now they like, no, you've been getting suspended. You've been getting suspended since middle school. We expel you. This first year of high school, they didn't expel me now. 9th grade. This is why it's important. So now I'm a 9th grade dropout. So now I hadn't dropped out yet, in my mind anyway, but I was expelled from school, and I already knew, like, man, I ain't gonna even go back, bro. Look. So look, boom, I'm expelled. My pop's like, man, I don't know what to do, bro. You just kind of do what you want to do, huh? So I'm just like, nah, like, man, it wasn't that shit, blah, blah. So he's like, all right, whatever. So at that point, he kind of was like, all right, you about to go live back with your mama, like, boom. Now, mind you, I still was thinking to myself, like, dang, like, I got to make it shake. Like, this whole time, all this is going on, that's all I keep thinking, like. So now I'm like, well, it's time to make it shake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, ain't no school no more. Ain't none of that going on. So time passed. couple months passed. I'm 15 at this time. Get kicked out of school, 15. So, boom, I go stay with my mom. Boom. Now, she like, well, now with my brothers and them and my other family, they like, man, my cousins and them, they like, what you gonna do? Like, far as like school and all that, I'm like, man, I'm kicked out. Like, I ain't about to keep on trying to, like, man, I gotta make it shake, bro. I gotta make some money. Like, that was like, I really started just saying it, vocalizing it, like, because at first I used to be kind of like, man, I just gotta make something happen. Like, I used to be saying to my big brothers and them, because I knew they didn't want to really let me too much get my hands dirty, so to speak. So I'm just like, man, I gotta make some money, bro. Like, I just started vocalizing it, like, to the niggas, like, excuse my French, but I started vocalizing to them, like, I'm like, bro, I gotta make it shake. So they like, all right, so this is what we gonna do, bro. Like, we gonna just make sure you got everything you need, like, but don't do nothing, like, just yet, like. So, you know what I'm saying? So what happened was, they just was like, we would just always hang together, da-da-da. And I always used to have, like, this thing where I'm going to make it happen, but I wouldn't go too far because I was still so young. Like, I just knew, like, I knew they wasn't going to really let me do too much. Let's just say that, right? So if I needed anything, like, you know what I mean, they would be like, all right, well, just wait, bro. Don't, like, and by the time they even get it for me, I've been and got it myself or something, or I just don't even need it or want it no more. So now I'm living with my mama, 15, boom. So she like, well, y'all got to do something. Like, y'all sit here, like, ain't in school, da-da-da, I'm working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm the middle boy, so I got an older brother, I'm the middle, and then I got a younger sister on my mama's side. And then on my daddy's side, I'm the middle child again. So I'm the second born on both sides. So it's a strange dynamic with that too. Like, so I got on my daddy's side, I got an older brother and I got a little brother. Like, you know what I mean? Then I got stepbrothers, like, you know what I mean, that I still look at as like brothers. Like, then I got other family members that I just look at as like brothers. Like, and then I got like my bros, like, you know what I mean, that I look at as brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I call them my brothers from another mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we every day, we rocking, like, you solid, like, I'm gonna look at you like family. Like, I ain't gonna, like, oh, that's my best friend. We don't use those terms, like, you know what I mean? You my brother, like, I rock with you, like, you know what I mean? When I got love with somebody, like, it show. I do it through actions. Like, it wasn't nothing I wouldn't do for you, like, you know what I mean? As long as I'm going with my morals, my integrity, like, ain't none of that. Like, all that new age stuff where, like, speaking on, like, people crossing out their partners and all that, bro, that wasn't a thing, bro. Like, we was keeping it solid, bro. So you with me, you know you're gonna be solid. Like, it ain't no questioning that. Like, so anyway, so boom. So fitting, I'm living with my mama now. So now I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna do? Like, man, I gotta figure it out. Like, things is starting to, like, happen in life where it's like people starting to, like, catch cases, like, people just starting to lose their life, like even at that age, like, in a city like that, man, it be happening fast, bro. Like, people 40 and 50, they be doing something else. Like, we was trying to get it out the mud, like, so she had a friend, my mama had a friend of the family, like, my family, they always know people, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, she had a friend of the family, he was in the real estate. So he going back and forth from Dayton to Cincinnati doing this real estate thing, like, and he got a little team and all that he already do business with. So he like, all right, y'all young men, y'all ain't got nothing but time on y'all hands, full of energy, like, come work with us. So we and one of my peoples, we will work with him, boom. So now we going back and forth up the highway every day. Me and my big brother and one of my other peoples, we was going back and forth all up and down Cincinnati, all up and down Dayton, every day. Sometimes a couple times a day, 2-3 times a day, like, just running it, like, doing home reconstructions, knocking down the inside of the house, redoing it, making good money, like, you know what I mean? So now I'm making grown man money now at this point, like, so now my whole life is getting different now, because I'm like, oh, hold on, like, I don't really gotta do nothing, like, too crazy, like, no more, like. So what we did was we left everything alone, like, all right, like, we don't even actually, it's got to the point where we didn't even have time to do something that was gonna get us in some different type of trouble. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't even have time. Like, we was working so much like that, and then we was just off on weekends. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, and then sometimes we'd be off during the week. Like, if he got to run errands or do something, pick up supplies or something like that, we'd be like, all right, we ain't. Or if he got to go meet other business partners, he would let us ride with him. Like, and I was, once again, back in his back, just soaking up game. Like, I'm just soaking it all up. Like, man, like, so this is the flip side of, like, really, really getting money. Like, all the other stuff in my mind, I just started thinking that was just, like, that wasn't even worth it. Like, that was just, like, small, like, that to me in my mind, I just kept thinking like that. Like, bro, this is, like, real business. Like, we going to, like, get it. Like, he cashing checks. Like, you know what I mean? That was the one thing. Like, I was like, man, I had never seen nobody cash a legal check before. Like, that didn't work at it. Like, you know, people work jobs. Like I said, my mom was working. She worked in at the hospitals. My pops, he was always in. He liked the chemicals, and like he was always doing like jobs like that, something to do with chemicals and working at like the plants and all that. So he was already like, for example, at the bottom of the T, right? It's a I forget the name of it, right? I think it's a soap factory or something. So he would always have little jobs like that, right? So when I finally started working, all I was doing was like stacking my money, like, cause I was like, I ain't really got time to spend it. I really don't really, like, I'm so young. I'm just thinking to myself, like, all I know is whatever happened, however this turned out, I'm gonna have something when it's all over with, right? So now we going back and forth up the highway, boom. I'm just soaking it up, like how everything moved, like in the real world of business, like. And then also on my pop side, my great grandma had her own business, had her own store. So her whole thing was selling antiques and collectibles. So you go to her store, it's kind of like a boutique type store, but like it got vintage, she got everything in there pretty much, like boxes stacked to the ceiling to the point where we used to have to walk through like this, like turn and like try to like get through paths, and like she would clear out boxes and she'd be like, oh, it's the box way at the top. Like, it's go over there and get that box. Like, oh, it's the one in the middle. Go get that one. Like, you got to move these and put that one over there and put that one up here. And like it used to be crazy. Like, oh, we'd go visit her and she'd be like, oh, I got something for y'all. I went out, you know, I went to some sales and all that. Like, she used to go to them estate sales and all that. Like, so I'm seeing that on both sides. So now I'm starting like, but I was seeing that with my great grandma, like before I started working, I was seeing that with my great grandma, right? Like, so mind you, I'm like, man, I grew up seeing business. So really naturally, I can really get into that mind state if I just apply myself. Like, I've seen it enough to know that it works and it's possible. So now I'm starting to plot my, like, I'm trying to plot like my exit from like having to get it out the mud, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. So fit in, working real estate, boom, boom. Now on our weekend off, this was another pivotal part of it. That's why all this is important, because these is pivotal moments that led up to where we are right now, right? So on my weekend off, boom, we going back and forth updating in Cincinnati. We go to the Natty, boom. On my weekend off, somebody try to rob me, boom. They ain't even robbed me. Shot me 4 times, leg, lung, back, and wrist. All right, boom. So after that happened, now that's family business, and I ain't gonna speak on that. I ain't gonna speak on deeply on that because it's like, it's family business, and my family's still affected by it, still touchy to them, and the scenario around it. Like, when you a prominent person in your family, like when things happen, like traumatic things happen, it still affect them, and a lot of times it affect them more than it affect you. So I'm moving on from it, and only time I'm gonna speak on it, I feel like I told myself recently, I said, if I ever speak on the details of what happened to me and all that, it's gonna be me on a stage at a speaking event getting paid. Because I learned that people will try to talk to me about trauma, but when it's time to talk about success, it's quiet though. So I peeped that. So I'm all right. So just keep that in mind though, like, right? So I'm 16 at this point. I done got shot. Now I'm in a coma for a couple days. I get out the coma. I'm just happy to be alive, right? Now I'm 16. I'm in a chair, leg, lung, back, wrist, but I got an incomplete spinal cord injury, what is called a diamond chip, right? So I still got feeling and movement, I still got feeling in my legs, and I feel the nerves moving and the muscles moving, and like you know what I mean? And I'm like still getting like bricked up in the mornings, and like I'm like, so how does this happen? I was like, so how is I'm about to move around? Like I gotta make it shake. Like that's all I kept thinking to myself. Like after I woke up out the coma, and I was like healthy, and I still got my mind. I was so grateful. Like God, thank you. Like you let me keep my mind. Like cause I swear, like when I was running, and I fell, and there was some stairs, there was some concrete steps. If I would have fell a couple inches more forward, bro, I would have hit my face, hit my head. It'd have been over. Like, so I'm like, God, you kept me handsome. You let me keep my eyes. You let me keep my limbs. So I just started thinking like, okay, I'm gonna walk again. Like, I know I'm gonna walk again. Like, God ain't do me like that. Like, I always had this faith, like this crazy faith that like it was real for real. Like what they say, delusion is a solution. Like, I don't know. Like, I always had like this delusional, like, but still realistic though. Like, man, I got this crazy faith, like always, like. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, and even back then I had some awareness of the world. Like, so I already knew, like, man, I'm 16, I'm in a chair. I don't got time to be sad, bro. Like, I gotta get this money. Like, I'm grateful, I'm blessed, but I gotta make it shake, bro. Like, sitting around sad and pouting, that's not gonna solve no problems. Like, so I ain't do no crying. I ain't do none of that. So to the point where they was literally sending in doctors and psychiatrists because they thought he this positive, he this happy, he gotta be crazy. Or he gotta be faking. Ain't no way he this happy. If something like that just happens to him. And what I was telling them is, I got friends that done passed away from one bullet. At that age, like, it was going on like that since night, like, for real. Like, I'm like, I got friends that have passed away already. Like, I ain't, like, what am I sitting around sad for? Like, I'm about to make it shake. Like, I still like to get fly. I still like to pop at that women. I'm still, like, even at that age of 16, like, I'm doing my therapy and all that. But, like, I'm in and out of hospitals. Like, because now this whole thing with this Butcher Pakistan thing, that's why I said it's all tying together. So now at 16, I'm like, I got to make it shake. So then I started saying, what if I start rapping and take it serious? Because I had already been rapping all my life. Now, growing up, both sides of my family was already listening to rap. So we was I grew up hip hop, like, no pun intended. I know they got a show, and hey man, look, this is me extending my olive branch. Any hip hop shows, any of that, man, listen, man, I grew up hip hop. That's listening to hip hop, getting the magazines. We used to go in the grocery store, my pops reading The Source and all that. You know what I mean? All that, bro. Like, I would go read the gun magazines and all that. Like, he wouldn't, like, we really grew up like that. Like, so, all my life, like, we would be, family party. I come from a partying family. So they would party for 2-3 days sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? People go home, get in the shower, come back, you know what I mean? Cook again the next day. Like, it was really like that. Like, so all I know is we used to always, like, find some kind of way to, like, rap. Like, the beat would come on, they'd be like, come on, y'all, come on. Everybody get around. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody got their little drink, their little smoke, whatever. You know what I mean? And even as kids, like me and my brothers and them, they were like, come on, y'all, let me hear something. And they would, like, we would be just on the spot with it. Like, so growing up, I was always rapping. Like, now 8 years old is when it really started though. Like, 8 years old, I can remember, because it was like when I first started thinking to myself, like, what if I start rapping? Like, because when you young like that, people be having dreams of what they want to do when they get older. Like, that's when they really start. Like, around that age, like, what you want to be when you grow up? Da, da, da. So what I would do is I would just rap around family, you know what I mean? Then growing up 11, 13, 14, you know what I mean? I would rapping around friends and family. Start smoking weed at like 11 because the environment, like this was around us, this was going on, like, and weed wasn't harmful. Back then, now I know they spraying with all the stuff and all that, but back then weed wasn't harmful. So I, away from family and all that, you get with your friends and all that, you know what I mean? They might have snuck some weed from one of their peoples. We the chief the little son, we get to rapping and all that. At that point, I'm skipping school. We rapping on the Mr. Microphone, recording. Then I done got a laptop at 16 after I got shot. I done got a laptop because I started thinking to myself, like, all right, am I going to still be able to rap? Like, because at this point, I'd have started making it myself. Like, I'd have been buying instrumental CDs before that. Like, but I'm buying instrumental CDs, like real live rap life, like, you know what I mean? And then I'm experiencing the things that we talk about in the music, like real life. So I'm like, man, I'm about to start rapping in this chair, bro. Like, I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do? Like, what I'm gonna do it? I'm like, nah, I know how I'm gonna do it. I was like, all I gotta do is just be me, the person I always been. I like everybody in the city already know me, like people that I know, like grew up with me, like they already know I'm solid. I'm like, and I got personality. I'm handsome. Like, I like to get fly, like all that, like, and I'm like, I'm a person, like I'm a genuine person though. I'm a pure heart though. So it's like, it's gonna connect to the people they're supposed to connect with. And I was like, man, I'm about to make this chair the biggest thing in the world. I was like, watch this. Like, cause they never seen nothing like it before. I said, that alone, that's gonna be the draw factor. Like what is this? Like, so I like, gotta prepare yourself because that's gonna come with another. The cons of that is when somebody never seen it before, it's hard for them to believe in it. Like, you know what I mean? So 16 in a chair, I done started, recording myself on the laptop on recording programs. Time passed. Now I'm about like 17. So now I'm like, oh, I done got shot. I was working, doing the grown man job. Ain't no going back and live with my mama. Ain't no going back and live with my pop. All I was thinking in my mind, like, I'm a grown man now, bro. Like, I don't know, like, this ain't gonna work. Like, I've been living that grown man life. Like, so how I'm gonna go back and just go back to the nest? Like, I don't believe in that. Like, once you leave the nest, you leave the nest. That's how I thought anyway. Like, so I'm in a chair now, so I'm like, I'm physically at a point where it's like, all right, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna move around. Like, I'm 16, I don't got no license. I ain't even old enough to get a spot in my name yet. So when I turned 17, so at 16, I first got the spittle, the butcher of Pakistan, the Durrani thing. This is how this would come in play. When I went to see the doctors for the follow-up appointment, because I done got shot now, and I done got shot in the spine, so they like, you gotta come in for some follow-ups to make sure everything in your spine's like healing correctly, like, you know what I mean? So they put me in the body brace, them body brace that look like, they kind of look like bulletproof vests. So they had me in one of those. So I was like, man, it's starting to hurt. Like, this brace is like hurting, but you think, mind you, I'm 16 and my body's still growing. So all they had to do was recommend me for a bigger brace. But I went, and that's when they put me in contact with Durrani. Durrani gave me the horror story. Oh man, if you don't get the surgery, your ribs is gonna puncture your intestines and all this. Cause I broke 2 ribs. When I got shot, I fell and I fractured 2 ribs. So he like, it's gonna puncture your intestines and all that. And if you don't do it, and I'm like, what? He like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. Let's get the surgery then. Cause he done already kind of put it in my mind, like, if you get older, you know what I mean? It's not no telling what's gonna happen. And he gave everybody the same horror story. Over 500 patients. He gave all us the horror story. And he was working at Children's Hospital. So in the legal ramifications of hospitals, we still was considered children. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm 16, so I'm like, going on 17, I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I gotta really get a spine surgery? Like, I'm like, all right, get it out the way, like hard body, like, you know what I mean? Like, man, whatever. Like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, nigga, I ain't, man. So, long story short, I get the surgery. Now, I ain't gonna focus too much on that because it's the Meals on Wheels music story. So just, you know what I mean? That was that part. Boom. So I get the surgery. And for legal reasons. I ain't gonna speak on the right thing. So we go get the surgery. I go home to my mama's house in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm telling her, like, I gotta make something shake, like, because one thing I said, remember, my mama was always finding little ways to find a little ducked off side street somewhere, like, you know what I mean, where you don't really, like, she in the area, but like you gotta kind of like know exactly where she at, like you know what I mean. She was always trying to find like little clean little streets where ain't too much going on. So I'm like, Ma, I gotta make something shake. Like it's too far. Like we around, like we away from the city. Like at this time, I knew people in Dayton, but like I wasn't in a position to where it was like I could just move around the way I need to, like, cause everybody got their own life going on, like at the same time. So by me going back and forth to Dayton so much, I had already built like kind of like a little network of people that I knew. Like my brothers and them, they was already hanging with. Like we already knew people. Like so, I'm like, man, I gotta make it shake. So they coming to get me, they picking me up, we grinding like, and they like, so bro, what you gonna do? Like I'm like, bro, I gotta make it shake, bro. Like it's obviously ain't no more job for me. Like they get like at this time, excuse my French, like I'm trying to stop saying the N word, like you know what I mean, because this is going to the world, this is global. But I need to give y'all a real perspective on this music thing. Like this is how we talk and rap, like you know what I mean. And when I get my professional self, that's why I'm suited and booted today. It is we doing a little bit both. It's hip hop business, like you know. So, boom. I'm riding, they coming to get me. We going back and forth, back and forth. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna have to go back to the Natty, bro, because this ain't really gonna shake for me like I needed to. Like I don't really got a lot going on up here like that. Like everybody got their own little thing going on. Like you know, at this age, like I said, I'm the youngest boy. Like so, even the people that was around is like. They was older than me, like, you know what I mean? So they starting to have kids and like, it started to be a whole thing. Like, so I'm like, man, I gotta make it shake. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'm gonna just go back to the Natty. Like, so I sat still for a minute, just trying to contemplate how I'm gonna work it out. Like, I ain't old enough to get a spot yet. Like, I ain't trying to really go just live with somebody like that. Like, you know what I mean? I was never the guy I'm about to go live with a bride and all that. I ain't, cause I already know how that play out. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna just be patient. So during this time I'm being patient, to keep it real, dysfunction is still prevalent. Like you ain't escaping dysfunction just because, like, you know what I mean? It's still things going on that your family deal with and that they got going on in their own life to where it's starting to affect you. Like, so I'm like, man, I gotta make it shake. So boom, I go back to the Natty. So now I'm starting to really realize, like, all right, I'm gonna have to live on my own. Like, living with anybody ain't gonna get it for me now. Like mama or pop, like it's over. So I moved back to the Natty. I moved my pops, just like kind of get him the rundown. Like, look, this was what's going on. Like I just needed to figure it out. Like I'm just sit still for a minute. So I was thinking in my mind, like, you know what? I could go back to school. Like I got enough clout to where when I go back to school, I can just blend right in. Like it ain't gonna be a thing where it's like, oh, you in this wheelchair, like you the wheelchair kid or something like something weird, like nah, like I was already who I am, like I was all like you know what I mean. I've been having clout, I've been had a name for myself. So if I went back to school, it would just be like, oh, bro, what up? Like, so when I moved back with my pops, people that we start running into, they're like, oh man, that happens. I'm like, none of that sad stuff, bro. I don't want to hear none of that sad stuff, bro. We moving around, bro. We making it shake, bro. I don't want to hear none of that. I said, I'm gonna walk again. I just gotta do what God want me to do. Like he got me doing something. I already was getting these messages from God at this point. Like now I'm starting to really focus in on it and believe it. Like I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna walk. Excuse my French. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm gonna walk, bro. I'm like, it ain't finna be that. Like we ain't doing no sadness. We ain't doing none of that. Like I'm making it shake. Like so we start. And then I would always tell a joke, like, cause I always had a personality, like. So I would always like, you know, give my personality a little bit. They like, oh yeah, bro, you good, bro. You still yourself. Like you good, bro. You straight, bro. Like Like, what y'all on? Like, we like, yeah, we finna go do this, da 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 da. And they would link with us and da da da. Then we'd just like, you know what I mean? We'll blow one and they'd be like, oh yeah, bro, like, yeah, you good, bro. Like, you straight, bro. Like, they're like, I was worried for it. Like, when I heard the news and da da da, I'm like, nah, like, I'm good, bro. Like, sometimes all it takes for you to burn one, like, you know what I mean, and get to chopping it up with your partners and them, and they kind of like, they can get a grasp on what's going on with you. Like, you're like, oh yeah, bro, they ain't know what they was talking about, bro. They was talking about you was in the church. I ain't know what was happening, bro. I thought, like, I don't know, bro. Like, you good though, you good. So once we started doing that, it kind of started going to link with everybody. It kind of got like, okay, bro, straight, like, he good, like, he's still himself, like, he just in the chair now, like. That's why I said ain't none in this world that I ain't able to do except walk upstairs. So boom, I was like, all right, time passed. I'm like, man, I gotta still make it shake. So dysfunction once again started being prevalent because of what the environment my family come from. They still dealing with their own thing. So you know what I mean? They you know, unfortunately sometimes people be their own demise. Like, so I'm like, all right, I'm about to get away from these because I ain't finna self-destruct with you. Like, you gotta do your own thing. Like, so boom. I called my mama, like, and one thing I can say about my mama, like I said on Who Am I, said, in the midst you never went up against my plots or against my pops. You a part of me and you a part of every gift I got. I know you see, you get the gist that this won't stop. Like, you know what I mean? So my mama was always a part of whatever I wanted to do. Like, anything I was plotting, like, anything that I came up with, like, long as it had integrity and morals, my mama was with it. So she like, what you want to do? I'm like, I gotta find a spot. Like, I ain't finna be just like I done been working a grown man job now and I'm living with my pops. I feel like there's two grown men kind of having he having an ego clash with me or something. Like, so, you know what I mean? And this ain't to talk bad on my pops, like, none of that. Like, this is telling the truth. Like, this the Meals on Wheels story. Like, so whoever don't really like it, all right. You know what I'm saying? But, so, I was like, man, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I'm gonna have to go to one of these apartments and just tell them the truth. That's how my mom used to always say, like, you know what I mean? You could never go wrong with telling the truth. Like, she was like, either they gonna say yes or they gonna say no. That was something my pops used to say all the time. Like, when you go approach people and whatever you need to do in life, either they gonna say yes or they say no. So I got that instilled in me. Either they gonna say yes or they ain't. Either way it go, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It ain't gonna hurt your feelings because you a man. And then my mama was like, just tell the truth. That's all you can do is keep it real, like, at the end of the day. So I'm like, all right, boom. With both of them instilled that in me, I feel like I can do anything for real. So I'm like, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to one of these spots. I'm going to give them the rundown on brief look. I'm going to give them a brief rundown on what happened to me, why I need this spot so bad and all that. And I was like, we just going to have you there so you can just co-sign, like, instead of me going by myself. So we went up there, boom. Went to a few different spots. Found the one that was perfect for me, red and roll. So I'm like, I bet this right here where we need to be at. Like, this right here in the city. You know what I mean? They got the elevator ramp, da-da-da. They got the flat surface right there when you come in the parking lot. So I'm like, I bet. Now imagine Cincinnati is a hilly city. Like, it's a lot of hills and a lot of the apartments at that time was like built small, like had stairs. Like, so it was like rare where you could find somewhere a chair can just get in and out easy. Like, so I'm like, boom, Haddon Hall. I'm like, all right, I'm in there. So now I done told the people, like, you know, I'm 17 at this time. So they like, well, we couldn't give you this place. You know, you about to be 18 and da-da-da. And my mom was like, well, I signed a document saying that I approve for him to have this place. Like, you know what I mean? Because at that age, a lot of times people would go down to I don't know how they do about that. They go down to the courts and the parent of sign papers basically making the person the legal guardian. I mean, like, not making them a legal guardian. Sign papers declaring that the person is on their own now, pretty much. Or they could sign somebody else to be a legal guardian, or pretty much say this person is now on their own and blah, blah, blah. But we didn't do all that. We just signed the papers in the leasing office, and she told them, look, I give my agreement that my son is moving in this place at 17, right? So boom, I move in. Now, at this time, I'm still getting it out the mud because I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't see too many jobs I'm gonna be able to work that's gonna pay me enough to really live the way I need to live. Like, I don't be really satisfied with that barely getting by stuff. Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? Barely making it and all that. I don't really like that. Like, so I'm like, all right, even though, you know, in life it's gonna be, you know, hills and valleys, you know what I mean, how they go, ups and downs and all that, you know, that's normal. But for the most part, at that age, that's also just coming off a grown man job, I'm like, ain't no way I'm about to go work at some like restaurant job somewhere and like be barely making it and all that. I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta make it shake. Like, so I'm getting out the mud, getting out the mud, getting out the mud, boom. Now, mind you, the trenches, the environment is still the environment. Like, so no matter how positive you is, no matter like how much plans you got, the people around just like got this thought set, like they like, how you gonna make it happen? It was, or you can't. I don't. That's why the word can't is not in my vocabulary no more. Either something is out of your physical power, or you choose not to do it. That's the only thing I live by. Like, I don't like the word can't. I don't use the word can't because of that. Because people around me was always telling me, like, man, you can't do that, bro. How you gonna do that? I'm like, watch, man. And I would give them real deal plans on how you can do it. Like, nah, you can do it. All you gotta do is this. You're like, oh, no, bro. I hear you, though, bro. So I'm like, all right. So then time going past, so I start keeping my thoughts to myself. And I start keeping my plans to myself because I started seeing, like, I wasn't getting the feedback that I was expecting. So I'm thinking, like, oh, everybody don't think like me. Like, you ain't gonna be able to get them too easy. Like, you gotta just let it be what it's gonna be. But I always kept it side though. I never treated nobody different, or I never like, you know what I mean, treated them weird or nothing because they ain't one thinking like me or nothing. Like I was always looked at as the person that was like, kind of like I'm overseeing the situation. Like, you know what I mean? People would look up to me for advice, or like, it was always a thing. Like, when I talk, everybody in the room just like a stop and just look at me. Like, so sometimes I would like not say stuff because I'm like, I don't really like attention like that. Like, but ironically, how God worked, like universal law, like they feel like I deserve to have certain attention because they know I'm not gonna do anything for attention. Like, I always had clout, I always been popular, so it's like God trusted me with this whole thing, with this Meals on Wheels thing. It's like, nah, I know you ain't gonna just do anything for attention. You ain't gonna just do anything for money. Like, it ain't happening. Like you know what I'm saying? So they're like, all right. So now all this attention is on me now in the world. So now, you know, let's just, we're gonna get to that part though. So now I'm 17 with a spot, making it shake. I'm starting to formulate my plans and my thoughts about where I want to go in life, how I want to make it happen. But I'm still getting out the mud, so I'm still like, I'm trying to figure out like, man, what's gonna be the end result of this? Like, people catching cases, people losing their life, like the Ronnie thing in my back is like starting to really like have like, it's starting to play on my mind because I'm like, bro, like, what's gonna really happen with this? Like, you know what I mean? Because at this point, I done already contacted, now I'm 17 going on 18, I done already contacted, you know what I mean, Eric Ditas and them, like, you know what I mean? So now I'm thinking to myself, like, what's going on? Like, man, this is crazy. Like, this guy was a fraud doctor? Like, what? Like, bro, like, how? Like, my life is crazy. Like, this is wild. So this is, now I'm starting to, like, formulate my thoughts, like, all right, now I got to really make it shake now because I'm like, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, so time go past, time go past. I turned 21. Now, at this age, I done already started saying, like, man, I got to make it shake legally, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I already done grew up seeing my great grandma own her businesses. I was doing the real estate thing, and I'm seeing my uncle, he got real estate. Like, it's different people in my family starting their own little business up. Like, and I'm 21 now, so at this age, you really legal in the system of, like, you know, legality. Like, you know what I mean? Governments and all that. Like, you 21 now, like, you legal age now. So I'm like, it ain't just no playing around no more, right? So I started thinking to myself, man, how I'm gonna make it happen, bro? I gotta get out the city, bro. Like, I gotta just do something different. Like, cause growing up, I used to always like see different music videos, and they would promote pretty much through music and different things, different cities. And I would see those different cities. And I used to be like, man, them big cities for real, for real. I'm like, I need to go somewhere like that. Like, I need to go somewhere warm. Cause Cincinnati, bro, all that snowing, all them hills, all that ice you moving around, your fingers getting cold on the wheels. I'm like, bro, I gotta go somewhere warm, bro. Like, so I'm like, all right, bet. I start thinking to myself, like, I start plotting how I'm about to make it shake. Like, so I run up plans about some people that we was, getting out the mud with. So I'm like, hey, bro, what y'all think of this? Da 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 da. And I knew to keep certain things to myself because I already kind of had a feel of how certain people thought around me. Like, but none of us was like crash outs though. We was all like, we was wise, but we was still from these environments. So it was only so much wisdom that we could apply in those environments. Like, you know what I mean? But people would always look to me as like the person that's gonna make sure everything kind of stay afloat, like, so to speak. Like pretty much everybody gonna do their thing, but I'm the voice of reason sometimes. Like, man, bro, like, we ain't doing that. That's too far. Like, we ain't going that, like, or let's do this. Like, sometimes I'll be the person that kind of bring up a plan or something and be like, all right, let's do that. Like, so at this time we rapping, you know what I mean? I'm 21 and I done got a spot now. I done got a spot now because I was 17, but time go past. I done moved to few different spots. You know what I mean? That's how I always maneuver, like move different spots, like, so you don't be in one place for too long and kind of like, you know what I mean? You need fresh ideas, like sometimes, like, but it will be just circumstances will happen where I would just have to move. So I would move, like, boom. So I'm like, bro, I gotta make it happen. Like, we done been buying rap CDs. I mean, we done been buying instrumental CDs. Like, everybody around me, we always rapping. And I'm still recording myself. So I'm like, man, I'm about to make this rap thing shake. Like, I'm about to take it serious and really invest some money into it. Like, because at this point, we'd have been recording ourselves at the house, have home studio set up, you know what I mean, the mic and all that. But we'd have been going to the studio every now and then, you know what I mean? But I'm like, we done started on our SoundCloud and all that. Like, them songs still on SoundCloud too. A lot of those songs are still on SoundCloud. So I'm like, man, I'm about to leave the city. So now at this point, I'm 21, got a spot I'm playing. I done start thinking to myself, like, I'm about to leave the city. Like, that's how I got to do it. Like, if I'm about to make this chair the biggest thing in the world, I got to leave the city. It only going to let me grow so much. So lo and behold, we at the spot one day. Now, mind you, at the spot, I only keep a certain amount of people around me at a time. Like, because I done got shot. And with that situation, that kind of already had you, like, with your guard up, like, you know what I mean, moving around in the world, like, for real. So I don't really do a lot of people like that. Like, so I'm like, man, I'm about to make it shake, bro. Like, I'm about to make it happen. Let's leave the city. Like, so I run it by. And really wasn't nobody with it. They mentioned a couple other places that was closer, but I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, because the only thing that's going to do is make us have this crutch. If it don't work out, we can always drive back to the city real quick. And I'm like, nah, bro, I want to go somewhere where it's warm, like, all the time, like, where I ain't got to, like, you know what I mean? So, and if it's something don't work out, whatever, I don't got that crutch to just run back to the city. So I'm like, all right, we at the spot. We record music, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Over and over and over. We losing laptops and hard drives. We buying them again. So at this point, we really love this recording and this rapping thing. Like, I always have all my life, but now I'm really, like, starting to invest money into it and, like, had a passion for it. When I lose a laptop, had a passion to start over. Like, you know what I mean? Starting over, like, completely, like, so I'm like, all right, let's run it. Like, so we at the spot. One day, my bro, he was dealing with this chick. She was an R&B type chick. Like, you know what I mean? She was singing, we in the natty, whatever. You know what I mean? So in the city, there's always some little small independent labels doing their thing. And they might get regional, you know what I mean? They get a little regional clout, but it don't never really translate to nothing like big for real, because people be getting out the mud and it always end up, hey, man, just keep it buck. When them people come, you know what I mean? Sometimes you ain't got that money. If you ain't got that money all the way cleaned up, it ain't gonna last too long. And this was a long time ago too. So this was All that's over with. Them people is free now and all that. So time go past, and these situations ain't had nothing to do with us. He's like, we were just in our own little world. We just seeing these things happen. People that we don't know, you know what I mean? So I'm just learning. Like, I'm just learning how, I'm like, so when I make it shake, I gotta make it shake on a scale to where it's like big, like where it can like, where I can really like be in this thing, like, and legit, like make some money out this rap thing. Like, if that's where the money at, like, you know what I mean? So I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, so to speak, at that time. But I'm watching people that I don't know have crazy runs and then lose it all. So I'm like, bro, I'm not finna do that, bro. Like, if I invest that much into it, ain't no losing it all, bro. Like, either I'm gonna do this or I ain't. So at the time, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out, boom, boom, making it shake 1 foot 8. So we in our own little world, in our own little bubble. One day I get a call at the house like, is such and such there? So I'm like, nah. So my bro was messing with this chick. She was singing and all that, right? So I'm like, nah, like, who this? She like, oh, this is celebrity status. I'm a party promoter. I promote musicians to do showcases, and I was calling her because she was supposed to come sing and I wanted to know if she still wanted to come. So I'm like, oh what? This a rapper you talking to right here? Hey, on the spot though. On the spot, I just said it like, oh, this a rapper you talking to right here? Like, what's up? How we get on? Like, what we gotta do? She like, oh, really? Da, da, da. She like, wait, who is this? And I told her my name. I ain't gonna tell y'all because that, you know what I mean? That's Cincinnati business. Like, so that was the name that, you know, people know me by. So I'm like, da da da. So they're like, oh, what? She's like, oh, wait, so you're such and such, brother? So remember I told you, any of my partners that be around me, we call each other brothers. Like, so I'm like, yeah, it's his brother. Like, what's up? Like, she's like, oh. She's like, well, if you guys want to come and perform, you can. I'm gonna be in KY. So we like, what? I'm like, I get off the phone, I talk to her, like, yeah, book us, schedule us, da da da. So when his girl come back, she came to the spot. I asked her, I'm like, hey, I said, celebrity status called you. It's her name. I mean, I said, celebrity status called her. Is she legit? I'm like, before we drive all the way down here, man, like, she's like, oh yeah, she legit. She's like, that's who be doing all the showcases. And she showed us at this time it was Facebook was popping. So she showed us the Facebook and all that, what's going on. I'm like, oh, what? So boom, we go to KY. So now this was where it really kind of like started, like, cause I'm like, can I perform? Like, now I'm in a chair, I'm rapping, I'm recording the house, but can I perform in front of people though? So, all right, so we go to KY, boom. I believe it might have been, it was in Covington, I think. I don't think it was in Newport. I think it might have been in Covington. Because I know one time it was one in Louisville, but we were just like, nah, that's kind of too far. Like, we ain't getting paid. At that time, you know what I mean? It was just get on the showcase, show up. You know what I mean? Bring however many people you can, like, you know what I mean? But it was a showcase, so your name was going to be on the flyer and all that. But at the same time, this wasn't no showcase where you could sell tickets and none of that, right? So we like, all right, boom. And it was different from open mic where you just go and just sign up and random. Like, nah, you had to really be like scheduled in, right? So boom, we get our time slot. We drive to Covington. Now, when we get there, all I noticed was the stage. I'm like, man, how am I to be getting on stage? Like, how am I to be doing this? Like, what? So, but at the same time, I got crazy faith now, right? So I'm still thinking to myself, like, man, God gonna make it happen. I got my bro with me. He gonna help me however he can. Like, you know what I mean? So we get on stage, and mind you, my bro got his girl, and I got my girl at the time with me. So we get on stage, boom. The stage had like a couple stairs to get up there, right? Like maybe like 3 stairs or something like that to get on the stage, 2 or 3 stairs. Like, you know, the little small steps though on the side of the stage. So they help me up the chair, boom, boom, boom. We get up there. I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad. Like, but I didn't see the stairs when we first came in. I just saw like the height of the stage. Like, So boom, I'm like, okay, we can do this. Like, so we get up there, boom, they drop the track. It started going crazy. Cause one thing we always had, and I ain't gonna lie, an ear for them beats. Like, and then we already had the lyrics. Like, I'm gonna start highlighting my old SoundCloud. Like the engineering wasn't there because we recorded at the house, but them bars was there. Them bars still there. Meals on Wheels. So yeah, I get on stage, we get to performing, boom, it go crazy. The beat go crazy. Da 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 da. So I'm like, man, that feeling was so electrifying. I'm talking about I was addicted to that feeling. I said, bro, I never want to stop doing this, bro. Like, I never want to stop rapping. I never want to stop performing. Like, unless I'm old and just ain't able to, bro, I love this feeling, bro. So we come out the crowd, everybody, oh, bro, that was hard. Da, da, da. Like, bro, we ain't know one thing. So when they gave me the mic, everybody was quiet and was just kind of looking. So I tell a joke, I'm just naturally like that. Like, I don't know, like, to me, like, being serious all the time just don't, like, even though I got a few different moods to myself, like, sometimes I be, like, serious and, like, militant, like, majority of the time, but, like, oftentimes, too, though, like, if you, like, in my inner circle, you just, like, know me, like, I be chilling, like, I be laughing, like, we be just, like, we enjoying life, like, so they give me the mic, I tell a joke, like, we just, like, I'm like, hey, everybody, like, you know what I mean, anticipating what the chair finna do, huh? So everybody started laughing, like, they're like, oh, yeah. So I kind of, like, broke the tension a little bit, like, you know, I broke the anticipation or whatever. So we got off stage, everybody like, bro, that was hard, da 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 da. So I'm like, yeah. So everybody started, like, we give them our, at the time, our Facebook and all that. You know what I mean? Give them our SoundCloud and all that, boom. So after that, celebrity status started actually calling us now, because now she done seen what we can do. That was our first time going, and she done seen what we can do. And then also she seen that we can bring people, because that's one thing that the party promoters want, like, is the crowd, like, or the artists that could bring people out. So even though my bro had his girl, had my chick with me, like, just us bringing two chicks was kind of like, all right, like, they could bring people. Like, so she, like, start calling us like, hey, we got a show, but y'all performing. Like, this ain't just like y'all just show up and just be in the crowd. Like, y'all performing. So I'm like, oh, bro, she done called us to perform again. Like, so, cause when we left, I told her, like, if you have some more shows, just call us. Like, we'll pull up. Like, we ain't gotta be performing. Like, cause I thought to myself, like, long as we in the network of musicians, the producers, the engineers, the people that throw the shows, long as we in that environment, we gonna bump shoulders and we gonna shake hands who we need to find. Like, you know what I'm saying? We already had the look tools anyway, like, so we was like, I just told her that. So when she called again, she was like, no, you guys are gonna be performing. Like, she's like, we having a show. And I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, oh yeah, we'll pull up. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't even mention performing. I was like, yeah, we'll pull up. Like, where's it gonna be? She's like, oh no, you guys are gonna be performing. Like, you did good last time. You're gonna perform. So I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, all right, bet, we there. So boom, again, me and bro, we pull up. So celebrity stars just started calling, so we just kept doing these shows, like, right? So now I start thinking to myself, like, all right, we've been doing these things, like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking to myself, like, I gotta make it shake. Like, if I'm gonna go, like, global with it, like, I gotta be able to get out Cincinnati so it can be seen, like, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, like, it's only gonna let you expand so big, like, so much. Like, it ain't really a lot going on musically in the city like that. Like I said, people was having their independent runs, but they wasn't, I don't know, for some reason, it wasn't just getting the global attention that it needed. Only person that did it, I ain't gonna say not the only person that did it, because a few different people that did it though, like they got a big name for themselves, but one of the few people that I can give credit to was AB, Adrian Bronner, with his About Billions thing. I seen them grind it all the way up and take it to the About Billions thing and do his old world champion thing. So shout out to him, shout out to Mike Stafford, rest up Mike, all that, right? So I was like, all right, bet. Let me, if AB did it, that means it's actually possible. But you gotta just be able to move around through different cities and just conduct yourself like a person that got respect. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you carry yourself with respect, people will 9 times out of 10 respect you. So how you approach yourself and how you address people is pretty much how people want to address you and approach you, for the most part anyway. So when I used to be So I thought to myself, like, all right, I'm getting inspired. Like, you know what I mean? AB running it up, da-da-da. You know what I mean? We seeing this like in real time. Like, so I said, all right, let me figure out what city I'm about to go to. So I'm like, man, I'm about to go somewhere sunny, somewhere where it's always warm. But I need to go somewhere where it ain't a whole bunch of rappers, because that'll defeat the purpose. If it's gonna be so saturated where you ain't gonna be able to break through for real, it gotta be somewhere. And I need to go somewhere where it's flat, because where I live at is hills. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm already self-inspired already. I'm already self-motivated already. But it's always a thing called external inspiration where people is doing certain things and it lets you know that it's possible, or you just salute what they doing, like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I'm finna run it, like. So I'm like, all right, so I'm from Cincinnati. Boom. I'm about to go to Vegas. Because at the same time, I'm thinking I'm doing show business. That's the city of entertainment. You know what I mean? I'm a rapper. It's flat everywhere, and it's warm all the time. So lo and behold, remember I told you I was going back and forth today, and I already knew people. So I always knew boxers and, stuff like that, because in them small cities, boxing and stuff like that, them be the things that people do to kind of stay out of trouble, or if they really got the gift of boxing, especially in the Midwest, right? It's a lot of good fighters come out of the Midwest. So through people that I already knew, like, you know what I'm saying, I started meeting boxers. So in Dayton, I knew a boxer. So he had already moved to Vegas, but I didn't know this at the time. So I was plotting my whole move to Vegas. I done started setting up things to give me a spot out there and all that. I done got a spot in Vegas. Now at this point, I done went back into the hospital. So I've been in and out of the hospital since 16 all the way up until, at this point, I'm 21, around there, right? Because I left the city at like 23. Exactly 23. It was my Jordan year. So now I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I'm in the hospital. Like, I'm still, like, making it shake, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, bro, this ain't life. Like, bro, I got to dip. Like, I said, what else am I waiting on? That's when I really started thinking to myself, like, because that's why God preserved me like that, because every time I would get in the hospital, I ain't had nothing but time to just think. And then also, when I'm in these hospitals, I got to conduct myself a certain way, because I don't want people to look at me just like this ignorant dude that don't just know what's going on with his own health. Like, so I used to be on point, paying attention to everything. So one day, a doctor had said something to me that stuck with me. Like, he tried to give me some medicine. Mind you, when I told y'all that when I first got shot, they thought I was crazy because I was so happy. They thought I was tripping. They tried to get me on all this psychiatry, tried to get me on these medicine. I wouldn't do it. Because all I told myself was, I just need to do smoke some weed. I'll be all right. You know what I mean? I was right. So the doctor that tried to give me some medicine one time, he said something to me like, it ain't no worse than what you already take in the streets. I said, it ain't no worse than what I already take in the streets. I said, I don't do, man, listen, long story short, I gave him a piece of my mind that day. I said some things to that man, but on a smart side though, to where after that day, he ain't never played with me like that again. Long story short, he ain't never played with me like that again. So boom, 22, 23 now, around this age, I done started thinking to myself like, all right, I gotta make it shake. I'm in the hospital. Ain't nothing else for me, like nowhere else in this city. Like I done pretty much got everything I'm gonna get out of this city already, lessons wise. Like, you know what I mean? Because God made me from the trenches so I could learn certain things to be able to have that wisdom when I move around. Because God know your path already, I feel like. So I done learned all the things I need to learn. I feel like, boom. So now, you know what I mean? Plus, family dysfunction is still prevalent. So it ain't like I could just stay and just build something up with the people around me. Everybody dealing with their own things and all that. So I'm like, all right, it's time to go. So I started plotting the Vegas thing and start moving, making calls, You know what I mean? Moving the paperwork, you know what I mean? Pretty much signing everything that I need to sign, lease-wise, you know what I mean? Sending in my deposit, all that. So I started really making moves like, I got a spot. So now I got a spot in Vegas. Now I gotta really get out there because now I done paid a deposit and rent for a place that I ain't even at. I never been to Vegas. At that point, I had never even been on a plane before. So my first time on a plane and my first time on going to Vegas was my first time going to Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? My first time leaving Cincinnati to go live somewhere, it was Vegas. Like, dating was dating. Like, you know what I mean? But going to live, though, like, okay. So now, time go past. My mama starting to like, oh, you gonna go out there? Da, da, da. She was kind of trying to like talk me out of it. I'm like, no. Anybody try to talk me out of it, I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. It's over. I ain't tell them I had a spot already, though. I ain't tell nobody that. But she was the one that was going to help me because I had to get these papers signed, and I needed her to go print them out and all this. I'm at the hospital and all this. I'm like, I'm trying to get her to go get a money order and all this. I'm trying to do all these things, right? But she just kept on trying to talk me out of it. So what I did was, I always knew how to talk to people, like, and always, like she said, just tell the truth, just keep it real. All they can do is help you or not. And then my pops used to always say, hey, man, all you got to do is ask. They can say yes or no. So I asked the hospital staff, like, I started talking to the nurses, like, hey, you think you could print this paper out for me? Da, da, da. I'm trying to get a spot. Like, you know what I mean? Da, da, da. Because they went and printed out the paper, and they was like, where is this going? Like, you want to mail it off? Like, or what? Because I kept saying it, like, man, I got to get these papers printed off. I got to mail them. Like, and she's like, you want to mail them off? Like, where to? So I'm like, man, you got to see these papers. Here go the address right here. She's like, Vegas? She's like, what is out there? And I'm like, man, my goals, man, my life goals is out there, man. So they went and got the papers for me, boom, boom, signed them and all that. Now the thing was the money order. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to wrap this story. I'm going to give faster a little, just give you this rundown. So boom, how God be working though. How God be using people. Like, you know what I mean? People be thinking, man, so listen, I mess around and tell one of the hospital staff, hey, let me talk to the supervisor. Because I knew the nurses and all that, but I don't know, bro. I just wasn't about to just give my bread to the nurses like that. Like, go get the money order, you know what I mean? Because they like, well, I can do it when I get off on my shift. I already done went and took lunch break and then I'm like, nah, they try to leave on lunch break and don't call back in and so So I went and got the supervisor. So I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get these papers, da da da. I already got them signed, but I need somebody to go get the money order for me. Now, mind you, the supervisor, I feel like ain't gonna really be trying to lose their job like that. Like, you know what I mean? That's just common sense for real. For like, the supervisor ain't really trying to lose their job. So I'm like, boom, I need you to go get a money order for me. You know what I mean? Da, 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 da. And I'm gonna be right here. Like, so it ain't like you gonna just. So long story short, the supervisor go get the money order for me. So, and then plus I thought to myself, like, if the supervisor try to do something janky, I mean, I can make a call. There'll be some people up here ready to see about you. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't really too, you know what I mean? But boom. So now I done sent my deposit and these papers to Vegas. I'm just praying that they get it. All I could think to myself all that week, that's all I kept thinking, like, please, Lord, let them get this money order, man. Like, please let them get these, man. Let them get these documents, man. Let everything be everything. Like, and when you come from environments like, where it's a lot of dysfunction with things that's always happening, you be bracing for something bad to happen. Like, it'd be crazy. Like, it'd be like, bro, like, that's why even now, like, I don't like celebrating too early. Like, when stuff be happening good or something about to happen, or I don't even celebrate too early. Like, I be just bracing. Like, it's weird. So I'm getting out of that habit though. So, boom, they send the papers off. They get the papers. The rent office called me from Vegas. Like, boom. Oh yeah, we got your papers and we got your money order and none of that. Because I was hoping they got everything at the same time. So what I did was I sent the papers first, just so I can see like if they really get the papers. Like, cause I'm like, bro, I'm mailing this all the way across the country. Like, Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's gonna get lost in the mail or something. Like, I don't know why I was thinking that though. Like, so when they got it and I figured out, because I was talking to these people back and forth over the phone, but I ain't knowing this is a legit place or what. Like, you know what I mean? They could be running a scam, internet scam. I don't know. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm thinking. Like, so I sent the papers first. So they got the papers. Boom. Then like a couple days later, I put the money order, but I made sure I sent the money order through UPS. Because I'm like, at least I can get a tracking on the money order. So I wrapped the money order up in a bunch of papers, sent the money order, boom. They get the papers, they get the money order. So now I'm in there now. So now they calling me like, hey, where you at? I'm still in the hospital. And I ain't, at the time, wasn't in a position to just leave. Because if you leave, anybody in the medical field know you're going to be considered AMA, against medical advice. So I'm like, I ain't about to just dip like that. Like, so I'm telling them like, man, look, I gotta leave. Like, I gotta make sure I'm healed. Like, and they're like, oh yeah, we gotta just make sure you finish up your medicines and da. So I'm like, man, bro. So they keep on calling me now. Like, is you really coming? Like, is it? So then I was like, all right, well, let me talk to the manager, because at this point they got the people in the leasing office calling me, but I wanted to talk to like the person that like really like the manager that's really like watching everything, like seeing what's really going on. So I talked to them, I told her the real rundown, like, look, I'm in the hospital, I'm coming out there, like I'm changing my life, like I gotta do something different. Like, y'all already got my money, y'all already see I done filled out the papers, y'all got everything, like y'all see I'm serious, like I just need just some time, like, and like, oh, okay, da. And I even sent them at this point we had to start exchanging emails. So I had sent them a copy of my I had took a picture and I sent them a copy of my doctor's sheet with the date on there, showing them like, look, I'm still in the hospital, like I ain't playing, like. So all right, boom. Time go past. Now I leave the city. You know what I mean? My uncle drive me to the airport. I'd never forget. It was like a snowy, it was like sleet, like slush rain. It was like a gloomy day, bro. Like it was just like gloomy, like, and I'm like, bro, this a sign or something, bro. Like it just felt like gloomy and like damp, and like that day it was just like the weirdest day. So boom, I hit the airport. When I get to the airport, I leave. Man, when I get off the plane, I'm flying through the sky. That sun start hitting that plane. I start seeing them palm trees. Woo! So I get off the plane, boom, palm trees, beautiful weather, wind blowing. I'm like, whew. Imagine you, I had never been to this spot before, so I don't know where I'm going. All I know is I got the address and I got some bands, and I'm about to get a taxi, and I'm about to furnish my spot, and it's home. I'm about to make it shake, however it's gonna be, right? So boom, I get to the spot. I'm like, man, I gotta figure it out. Like, I don't even know where I'm going. So I get to the spot. They drop me off. I go to the rent office. They give me the key. Boom, I go in. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I'm really in another state right now, another city, like Dolo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, imagine, I got the boxer, homie. He out here, but I don't really be around this nigga at this point. Like, excuse my French. I don't really be around bro at this point. Like, I don't know how he move, like on the every day-to-day basis. He'd have been calling me, I'd have been sending him bread. Cause at this point, I'm like, all right, bro, I know you trying to do something legit. I know you're doing something legal. You doing your boxing thing. I'm gonna support you. You know what I mean? So I was sending him bread while I was still in the natty. So I'm expecting like, all right, when I get out here, he gonna have his life together in some aspect, right? Some type of way. Man, I get out here, bro, ain't got nothing going on, bro. He out here selling false dreams. So I'm like, all right, bro. So I'm still kind of got some faith, because I'm like, maybe with my mind and like his network of people that he already know, we could bubble and make something happen, right? Because I don't want to just get out here and be deflated, because I'm on my own mission anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm good. Like, I'm straight. I'm going to be straight. That's what anybody know about me. Like, hills and valleys included. Like, I'm going to be good when it all play out, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. So I tell bro, like, look, bro, I already got a spot, all this, boom, boom, boom. So the whole time, what I don't know is bro, he's so caught up on chasing skirts, he ain't really able to focus on what he's supposed to be doing. So I'm like, all right, so I break away from that situation. Now in this time frame, I'd have met mass different boxers, because that's what he do. That's what the people around me was already on. So I'm meeting all these different athletes now. So I'm like, I rap. So I'm like, let me just start going and making it shake on the strip. I already got a spot. I don't got no excuse now. You know what I mean? So now I'm starting to, I'm paying all my bills and all that now. So I'm really starting like, yeah, I got to make it shake now for real. Like, it ain't no sitting around waiting. I'm paying bills now. I'm in Vegas now. Let's run it. So I'm hitting the strip, boom, just seeing what's going on, like, far as the music scene. It wasn't really no rappers. So I'm like, oh, man, I'm about to turn it up, because people love rap, but people don't think of Vegas when they think of rap for some reason. Like, it's just an entertainment city, show business, but when it come to, like, rap, just far as, like, the people that live in Vegas, it ain't really nothing going on. It was only a few handful of people. So I was in that first batch during that time, that first batch of people, that 2013 around there, you know what I mean? Around that space, like, you know what I mean? 2016, like, that little time frame, 2015 around there. Yeah, that was that first little batch. Like, so I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm like, boom. All right, so boom. Now I'm in Vegas. But I'm peeping, though, it wasn't really no Vegas scene like that. Like, and I'd have met mad different boxers because that's what he do. So I'm peeping like, man, how I'm about to really make it shake, though, on some, like, rap side like that. Like, how I'm gonna make it shake on the rap tip, though. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna promote myself at the clubs, because rap and hip hop in the nightlife all collide. So I'm like, all right, I'm about to just promote the clubs. You know what I mean? I can connect and link with anybody, because that's how it was when the city that I was, the city that I was from, Cincinnati. You can move anywhere, you can live anywhere. Remember I said that, so I was good with everybody. Like, so I don't care about where you from or what city you from, or I ain't care about none of that. I'm like, you know what I mean? That's y'all business. Like, I ain't getting in the middle of that. Like, and then what started happening is when I started networking, people actually loved that about me. They're like, bro, like you really, like, you just like on your dolo? Like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I know a lot of people. I network. I'm a social person. I'm a socialite, like, for real, for real. That's what I'm gonna get back into, though, but let's just hold off on that. I'm gonna get into that. So they like, oh, word. So it would be people from all different type of backgrounds and all different type of areas and cities and streets and all that around me. We would all just be getting along, because it'd be like, long as bro in the room, ain't no problems. Ain't no reason nobody should be in the room beefing, because bro don't got nothing to do with none of this. He, like, you know what I'm saying? The city that he come from, that only, all this, like, if it's a personal problem, it's a personal problem. But all that, like, you from over there and he from over there, and y'all be, nah, that don't exist when I'm in the room. So people start actually loving that about me. So now I'm starting to network with everybody. Now anybody that has something good, positive going on, and was really trying to better themselves, I'm networking with them. Boom, boom, boom. Just letting them know that I do music, I rap. So time go past, I'd have met all these rappers. I'd have met the handful of rappers that was there. I'd have met the little handful of producers. And now I start meeting athletes more, because bro was a boxer. But at this point, I'd have met more boxers now. So I just stopped dealing with him, because he wanted to chase skirts. And I was starting to get people that was really serious about their craft. Like, so now, boom, I'm moving around, but I'm starting to do the same thing I was doing in Cincinnati. I'm moving in different spots, but I'm just in Vegas now, but I'm moving from different parts of the city, because I'm just like, things was happening again with the Ronnie thing. This metal in my body keep acting up, so I'm keep in and out the hospital. I'm in and out the hospital, like, but I'm moving spots too at the same time, because, like, I be in the hospital for a minute, and with Vegas, people usually go back and forth to their hometowns and stuff like that. At this time, I wasn't doing that, though, because I'm like, I still gotta get myself, I still gotta get my emotion going, so ain't no point in me going back just yet. So people that was around me, they was going back and forth or whatever, going back and forth. So I was still having time to myself, and it was time with God. God was giving me the instructions, like, look, this is what you need to do. Just stay out, just keep yourself balanced. Like, I know you know what I mean, you have to get it how you live a little bit, but you're gonna need that, though. That's a part of you. Like, you gotta survive out here. So I'm like, all right, bet. So as long as you move with a level-headed, and I always think of I always think of people that who move to different cities. When you move to a different city, you a representative of that city, whether you want to be or not. Because people gonna naturally ask you, well, what city you originally from and all that. So when people was asking me that, I always felt like I didn't want to embarrass Cincinnati. That's how I always used to think about it. Like, first, I didn't want to embarrass myself and God, but I didn't want to embarrass Cincinnati when people asked me what city I was from. And I already had clout in my own city, so I wasn't just doing anything for attention. You know what I mean? I was already moving like that. So people was like, oh yeah, I rock with bro. Bro, solid. Like, you could tell, like, he come from that cloth. Like, without me even saying, like, just my posture and my demeanor and the way I move around, like, but I ain't no overly fake tough type dude either, where it's like, but what happened was, over time, like I said, I started networking with a lot of people. What happened was my reputation started to precede me now, because it was like, oh, who is bro? Like, because remember I told you I kind of started moving my guard up after I got shot, because I'm like, I don't really, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, so I was already like a militant type of thinker, like, far as like my movement. So people started like, they know what I was had going on, like, far as like, they just know, bro, like, he's straight, though. People, he's solid. Everybody rock with him when he out. Like, he get love. Like, but like, when you got a certain type of demeanor and like reputation about you, even if it's good, like, it just perceived you. It just seemed like it's just so big and grand. Like, people just don't know what to think, and they be kind of like scared, nervous. I'm like, bro, I'm about to just keep on networking. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to shake it now. Mind you, having clout and being known in one city is one thing, but now it's multiple cities now. I'm in Vegas now. Now I got a reputation out here. So now I'm starting to think to myself, like, man, I got to figure out a way to like make everything that I learned, the reputation that I built up, I need to learn how to package it and combine it with the chair. So before that, I didn't really care about social media like that. I was like, bro, that's not for me. Taking pictures is for women. Unless somebody take the picture of you yourself, all that, I'm not doing it. I don't really care about it. So I had Facebook at the time, but I just noticed it just what I was doing my thing on Facebook, but I just didn't want to start a new social media, which at the time started being Instagram. So now Instagram going crazy. Now Instagram going up. So I'm like, all right, well, if I'm gonna do music and I'm out here and I'm doing it, I might as well get with the times. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and upgrade my social media. So I make an Instagram now. So now I'm moving around, posted on Instagram that I'm in Vegas and starting to promote the music. Now I created a music account. I done started posting on SoundCloud more. Even though I'm in at the hospital, even though I'm in at the hospital, I'm still making music. I'm still recording. I'm still putting out music. I'm still posting when I'm at the club. So now I became a face of the nightlife, because I feel like that's the best way for me to promote myself. Like, outside the strip is really like, you know what I mean? I'm like, so it ain't really no point of me just being out here and just not doing it to the level that I can do it to. Because I didn't know social media like that. I didn't know how to really make it connect like that. So my over time, my Instagram started going up. Like, so it started going up. And then I just randomly out of nowhere, sometimes I do this, I don't know, but I just get this thought in my mind, like, man, I'm over this. Like, I want to start over. Like, I'm done. I don't know, bro. This is boring. You know what I mean? And I swear I just deleted it. Like, I don't know. Well, self-sabotage, you could call it that, but I be needing a fresh page, like, I feel like. And sometimes just deleting all your pictures, that just don't do it. Like, I delete the page, and then once the 90 days expire, I start a new page with a new name. But I wouldn't do it always after 90 days. Sometimes it'd be months, like a year. Like, and I just start a new page. Like, then when I start a new page, people start gravitating to my page again. Like, oh, bro, where you been? Da, 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 da. So I did that a few times. And over time, people kind of started knowing and recognizing, like, oh, that's Meals on Wheels. At this point, I'm Meals on Wheels. At first, before I left Cincinnati, my rap name was my regular name that people was calling me in the city. But it was my nickname, of course, but it was my nickname when people called me in the city. But I was like, man, am I going to call myself Crazy Legs? Like, but I was like, nah, because if I'm serious, I don't want nobody to just brush it off like, oh, he crazy legs. So anything he say, he just crazy. Like, nah, I was like, nah. Like, because the crazy legs thing came from my lit social life party being out. Like, bro, crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we having a good time. Like, but you know what I mean? It's trying to be some wild nights. But it's all in love, though. You know what I mean? It's all pure heart stuff. Like, stuff people need to really learn about, man. So time go on. So I'm like, all right. I'm at my grandma's house. How I got the name Meals on Wheels. Let me backtrack a little bit. Before I left the city, I had got the hospital, and I went up to my grandma's house. And at this time, she was staying in Zone 15. So I go over her house. We there one day. At this time, I'm calling myself Crazy Legs. I done recorded in the hospital those double disc CDs with Brian Schreck. So that newspaper article that y'all see, that newspaper article was at the time when I was in Children's Hospital after the running thing. The music man would come through with the cart to see if the patient want to play instruments. So we do the newspaper article. He print me out the CDs, and I did a double disc, and I called that, it was the Crazy Legs Project, right? Because I was like, man, okay, I was born in projects, but this is like my project. So I was like, all right, Crazy Legs Project. So I did that. I'm at my grandma's house, and I was just thinking, I gotta call myself something else, because I don't want people to just brush me off like, oh, when I say something serious, I don't want people to brush me like, oh, he crazy because he crazy legs, da-da-da. Like, nah, I know how the world works, so I don't want to do that. So one day we was at the house, and she would get Meals on Wheels literally to her house. So Meals on Wheels would pull up and deliver these trays and all this, right? So one day I'm just sitting there, and she was like, you hungry? And rest up to my grandma too. So she like, I miss that lady. She like, you hungry? I'm like, kinda, I could eat. She's like, well, if you want to get something, I got those Meals on Wheels in there. She's like, I can cook you something, but if you want something fast, you want it right now, I got those Meals on Wheels in there. And I was like, oh, I'm good. I'll wait till you cook. And then I start sitting there, hitting my, you know what I mean? Hitting the weed, the weed relieving the pain that I got. Because, man, I had just got to the hospital. So my body is like achy and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like not feeling like myself. And so I'm like hitting the weed. Then I'm like, man, I need to start calling myself something, bro. Like, because when I was at my grandma's house, all I was doing was like masterminding. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to be, in my mind, my grandma loved me being there, but I'm like, I'm not about to be a burden on my grandma. Like that's over with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. Like, she's like, you know, you got your, at this time I had another spot I was finna get, but I was waiting on the stuff to get approved. You know, they gotta do inspection and all that. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm waiting on a new spot. She's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, you right here, da-da-da. But in my mind, I'm like, no. Like, my grandma got her own little spot. She, you know, she got people come in, you know what I mean? My grandma was even popular. Like, people was coming knocking on the door. Like, my grandma got it jumping over here. So, you know what I mean? People love her. Miss Yvonne, that was my grandma. Anybody that know from Zone, know. Like, that was my grandma. Like, so they would come back, oh, Miss Yvonne, oh, that's your grandson? Yeah, that's my grandson. You know, he about to get his place. They waiting on this stuff to get approved. So I was already meeting people just like that. Like, and they like, so what you do, bro? Like, what you be on? Like, I'm like, I be making it shit. Like, but for real, like, I'm like, bro, like, I rap. Like, you want to hear my music? Because I would always take that opportunity. Like, I'd have made these double discs now. So now I just want people to hear it. Like, I'm like, you want to hear it? So I would play with the music. They like, oh yeah, that's hard. Like, what you call yourself? I'm like, Crazy Legs. I'm like, I'm looking for a different name though. So imagine when grandma had said it that day, I kind of just chiefed, you know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm just trying to think, like, so one day somebody had listened to my music and they had left. So I was just sitting there. Grandma was out with great grandma. They was out going to estate sales. That's their thing. Every weekend or whatever during the week, they get together and they go to doing estate sales. So grandma and great grandma together, they out and about, right? So I'm at the house. I'm like, man, I'm hungry, kind of like, I need something quick though. I'm like, man, grandma said the Meals on Wheels. And right there, I said it, I stopped. I like, grandma said those Meals on Wheels. And I was like, bruh, Meals on Wheels. I was like, instead of like meals, like food, it's meals like millions, like, cause I'm on this money back. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, that's the hardest thing I done came with, far as like names. Cause I was like, maybe I can just call myself my nickname like I've been doing. And I was like, nah, like I need something live. I was like, I'm about to turn this chair into this gonna be something global. Like plus I don't want people to feel like they just know me like that. Like, you know what I mean? My name is something that means something there, and that's special to the people that know me from there. You know what I mean? Maybe they might find out down the line, but I don't want people to just be, you know what I mean, running up on me like calling me by that name and I think it's somebody I know. You know what I mean? I think it's somebody I know from back in the Cincinnati, and I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, nah, like, so I'm like, bruh, Meals on Wheels. That's it. So at that point, I start writing it down on paper, like in different ways to see like how I'm gonna do it. Am I gonna separate? I'm gonna go Meals on, then Wheels, or I'm gonna just put it like Meals on and then space Wheels, like how I'm gonna make it. So then I wrote it down all together, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do it as one word, Meals on Wheels. That make it way more simpler, and it give it that ring to it, like Meals on Wheels, just like the place that delivered the food. I said, but except I'm gonna feed the streets. I said, that's gonna be so hard. I said, then when I get to a point where my life start, I start having more experiences, start getting more money, it's gonna go global, because I always had in my mind, we're gonna go global, bro. I said, when it go global, because at this point, I'd have met people from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. So I said, at that point, it's gonna be, I gotta feed the world. Like, you know what I mean? We feeding the world with it, like, but that's where it started, like, Meals on Wheels, gotta feed the streets. Like, because that was the people God wanted me to speak to with this particular message. Like, you know what I mean? Them the people that God had wanted me to be able to reach, like, and that's what was the environment, like. And it just made sense, like, it just rung, like, so I'm like, boom. So now I done got the name Meals on Wheels, so okay, boom. So fast forward, now I'm in Vegas, I'm moving around, I'm networking, I done built the name for myself, my reputation starting to precede me, but I'm still going to Dreads every single week, 2-3 times a week sometimes. I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to Dreads, I'm going to different parts of the strip to hit different clubs. I'm just clubbing, promote myself, chopping it up, you know what I mean, with the people of the night, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you know, you know. You know what I mean? So, long story short, the people of the night start saying, man, bro, you got something. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was meeting people when I would go anywhere I was going, it were people that say they saw me before. So I started thinking to myself, like, I'm really kind of like known for real now. Like, so now I got to start moving different. Like, so I delete my Instagram again. So I started getting paranoid. Like, hold on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, bro, like, I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, for real. So I'm trying to, like, think to myself, like, man, am I being too known? Like, it ain't gonna. Remember I told you how many people that I didn't even know had runs, and then the run would end because they wasn't able to get all the way out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta figure out a way, man, to get all the way out with 1 foot, 1 foot out. So I delete my Instagram again. So boom, I start moving around. And what happened was I start meeting different people in nightlife, and they start saying, like, you know, you need to actually start putting out more music. Because I was already putting out like single songs or whatever, and promote myself, but I had never put out a full project. And my goal at that time, my one rap goal it's wild, but I had one rap goal. I want to put my music on my mixtapes, and live mixtapes, so my people in that piff, so my people that was in jail could listen to my music. Because I got tired of trying to play it over the phone, and they listen to it, and they be like, bro, that's hard, bro. Like, and they be like, yeah, bro. They'd get people around the phone, they'd listen to it. I'll be in the studio, they'd call me. I would do the infamous rap thing where I record the jail call and all that. I was doing all that. Like, say something to the people, bro. You be like, yeah, bro, listen to my peoples, bro, Meals on Wheels. You know what I mean? Man, I lost so much music, man, so many memories, man. I love this rap life, though. So fast forward. They're like, yeah, bro, you need to put out some music, like. And then, like, they start seeing, like, oh, bro be moving around, and then I'm in a chair, but one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to some women. So they start seeing, like, oh, Ambrose straight, too? Like, he ain't on no, like, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, yeah. Like, he one of them, like, you know what I mean? So they start really like supporting me at that point now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, he owns something, like. So I start, boom. I said, I'm gonna get the mixtape and I'm gonna make sure when I make the mixtape that I put it on these mixtape sites because I want my people that's locked up to be able to hear it. So that was my one goal because SoundCloud just wasn't doing it no more for me. I was still posting on SoundCloud. I was still posting on Reverb Nation. Yeah, I was still doing that, right? So, boom. Time go past. I end up running to time go past. I'm still trying to figure out how I can do something to make the rap thing bigger, but I gotta do it within the realms of what's going on in Vegas already. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a collaborative effort when you're talking about a hip hop like scene, right? So I'm like, let me just start doing parties because when I'm at the club, I noticed when I'm at the club, you would talk to people and you would get their numbers and emails, but you would be able to hear what they saying for real because the music's so loud. Or people would be so drunk that when they leave, they wouldn't even probably remember what y'all talked about. And you be trying to touch up with business and they reply maybe and all that. So I got tired of that. So I'm like, all right, people just give you the run around the club sometime. I said, if we do like small private parties where people actually hear what you're saying because the music ain't blasting, you know what I mean? And then we can do it with cannabis because the weed thing was booming. Like it started, that's when everybody was talking about the legalization. But by that time, people was out, they was already pretty much letting you smoke your weed. Like, man, look, it ain't nothing going on with the weed. Like, so we could just do cannabis parties. Like, they done been legalized. And at this point, people got medical cards and all that. So we could just do cannabis parties so ain't nobody there drunk, trying to fight, da-da-da-da. So it could be a little, relaxed, little laid-back vibe. So boom, we started doing a little party, start doing the parties. People that was around the network started doing the parties. And the homie that had already like started using his network to kind of like build up the name of the party, he was the person that came to me and was like, I need your help with this. Once again, like I always say, I'm always the person to help people. We never get that same reciprocation, bro, for some reason. Like, it be weird. Like, it's like people do the bare minimum, but I be doing the maximum. And I don't count favors either, so it ain't like, oh, I did this for you, so you got to do this. It don't be none of that. It just be like, over time, I just step back and think about it. Like, after I cut them off, I be like, bro, I was overextending myself for real. Like, I see they was just, like, trying to just do just enough to keep me around the benefit off of me. So anyway, so he came to me like, yeah, bro, I need help. So boom, I start putting my money into that. Because I'm like, look, if that blow, like, because now we didn't start getting it with these professional cameras. We didn't start doing this whole thing. Now I'm getting rooms on the strip. You know what I mean? We got the palms with it. I'm like, and I posted on my Instagram at that time, so I'm going up like, oh, bro, going crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I had the mixtape at the time, so I had already dropped No Gas. I had dropped No Gas, No Breaks. Like, you know what I mean? So I was already like coming with it. Special Olympics, Sports and Entertainment Edition, because I already knew all these athletes. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just going crazy. So I'm like, bro, this is getting like too crazy now. Like I ain't really like, and now mind you, ain't none of it really paying me enough to really just like completely walk away and be all the way out. Like, if you get what I'm saying. Like, so I'm like, man, I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, man, this ain't really, I'm like, I'm doing it, but it ain't enough to really like, it ain't enough to like have me like, I can just focus straight on music. Like, I don't gotta do nothing else to risk nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, boom, delete my Instagram again. It's too much. It's too crazy. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who watch me now. It's too many people. Now I'm going out about my reputation preceding me. People kind of like nervous to do business with me. So I'm like, but I'm using my Instagram to show people the other side of me. Like, nah, I'm only, kind of militant when I'm out, because it's like, I'm out in the world. Like, I'm not no person that just like no pushover. Like, so you ain't gonna. So when you approach me, like, I'm kind of like trying to see what you want for real. So what I started noticing was when I was out, people would walk up on me, and I would sometimes be clutching like, oh, what's up? Like, bro, your Meals on Wheels right there. Reach out for a handshake, and I'm like, oh, bro, like, I gotta adjust to this thing now. Like, I done created some famous type of vibe. Like, so I'm at this time, I'm not famous to myself. Like, I keep on like having these experiences, but it's just some things where it's just like it just didn't click. Like I'm like, bro, I'm not famous to me though. Like I'm just me, bro. Like I'm still the dude with the pure heart. Like, but the thing about that is when you got a pure heart, these days people see you as green. They think you naive or something like. So people try to come around me and use me and try to get over, but I wasn't going for none of that. And then they would go back and be like, man, bro was on, he wasn't really messing with me like that. Or they'd try to put it out there and try to really like spin the narrative like for real. But really, I just peeped what you was on and wasn't on that though. I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, now my reputation starting to perceive me because now stories starting to get out that bro ain't really on, like he ain't really trying to mess with people like that, or you know what I mean, he be to himself, he you know what I mean, he real serious. Like, you know what I mean? It's like all these things. So people like, oh, he don't really want to network or mess with nobody. Like the people that didn't know me was thinking this like, but they was telling people that to scare away the business. Like, bro don't really mess with nobody. He be too serious. Like he don't really, but they would only say that after I cut them off though. But when I'm rocking with them, oh, bro.